Welcome to our Danish Matriculation School. This is Class 7, Social Science, Unit 3. The lesson name is Emergence of New Kingdoms in South India, later Cholas and Pandyas. Dear students, already we discussed about the emergence of new kingdoms in North India. Let's continue the introduction. To trace the origin of the later Cholas and the later Pandyas. Second one is to know about the prominent rulers of both the kingdoms. Third one is to acquaint with their administrative system. Dear students, acquaint means arimugam. Last one is to understand the social, economic and cultural development during their reign. First topic is revival of the Chola rule. Under this topic, we are going to learn about their elaborate state structure. It means விரிவான மாநில அமைப்பு. Second one is extensive irrigation network. விரிவான நீர்ப்பாசன வலையமைப்பு. Okay. The ancient Chola kingdom reigned supreme with the Kaveri Delta forming the core area of its rule and with Orayur as its capital. Now, Orayur district is in Tiruchirappalli. In the 9th century, Vijayalaya ruling over a small territory lying north of the Kaveri revived the Chola dynasty. He conquered Tanjavur and made it his capital. And third one is Rajaraja I, his period is 985 to 1016, was the most powerful ruler of Chola Empire. சோழர் ராஜ்யத்தில் மிகவும் வலிமை வாய்ந்த சக்தி வாய்ந்த மன்னர் ராஜராஜ சோழ I. He built the famous Rajeshwaram temple. Its other name is Prahatishwara temple. It is in Tanjavur. And his son and successor Rajendra Chola I, his period is 1016 to 1044, matched his father in his ability to expand the empire. Next topic is decline of the Chola Empire. Matrimonial alliances between the Cholas and the eastern Chalukyas began during the reign of Rajaraja I. His daughter Kundavai was married to Chalukya prince Vimaladitya. Their son was Rajaraja Narendra, who married the daughter of Rajendra Chola. And the second point is, on hearing the death of Atirajendra, the eastern Chalukya prince Rajendra Chalukya seized the Chola throne and began the rule of Chalukya Chola dynasty as Klothunga I. And Rajaraja Narendra married to Ammanga Devi. In this picture, there is a photo of Atirajendra Chola. And the last point is, Kanchipuram was lost to the Telugu Cholas. The year 1279 marks the end of Chola dynasty when King Maravarman Kulasekara Pandian I defeated the last King Rajendra Chola III and established the rule of the Pandyas in present-day Tamil Nadu. This is the picture of Gangaikonda Cholapuram temple. And the next topic is their administration. The Chola rulers established a well-organized system of administration. The empire, for administrative convenience was divided into provinces or mandalams. Administrative convenience ரெண்டு பார்ட்டாக பிரிச்சிருக்காங்க. ஒன்று ப்ரொவின்சஸ், இன்னொன்று மண்டலம்ஸ்னு சொல்லுவோம் தமிழில். Each mandalam was subdivided into nadus. ஒவ்வொரு மண்டலத்தையும் நாடுன்னு சப்டிவைட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. Within each nadu, there were many kurrams. Kurramsna, groups of villages. The lowest unit was the gramam. Second one is lowest unit was the gramam. Kurramna, groups of villages. Gramamna, or village. Okay, next, local governance. Local administration worked through various bodies such as Urar, Sabayar, Nagatar and Natar. With the expansion of agriculture, numerous peasant settlements came upon on the countryside. They were known as Ur. இவங்களை உருன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. The Urar, who were landholders, acted as spokesmen in the Ur. The next one is Uttaramerur inscriptions. Uttaramerur presently in Kanchipuram district. Uttaramerur இப்போ காஞ்சிபுரம் டிஸ்ட்ரிக்டில் தான் இருக்குது. It was a Brahmadeya village. Land grants given to Brahmins. And the second point is there were 30 wards in total. The eligibility to contest was to men in the age group of 35 to 70, well versed in Vedic text and scriptures, and also own land and house. This is the picture of Uttaramerur inscriptions. Dear students, refer page number 133 in your textbook. The next heading is revenue. The revenue of the Chola state came mainly from the land. அதாவது சோழ வம்சத்துக்கு அவங்களுடைய வருமானம் முக்கியமாக அவங்களுடைய லேண்டில் இருந்து தான் கிடச்சிருக்கு. The land tax was known as Kanikadan. The Chola rulers carried out an elaborate survey of land in order to fix the government's share of the land revenue. 1/3 of produce was collected as land tax. 1/3 பாகம் land tax, அதாவது tax means வரி. In Tamil it is in வரி. land tax-ஐ கலெக்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. It was collected mostly in kind. Next one is social structure based on land relations. The Chola rulers gifted tax-free lands to royal officials, Brahmins, temples, Devadana, and religious institutions. Land granted to Jain institutions was called Pallichandam. There were also of Velan Vagai land. Next one is irrigation. Cholas gave importance to irrigation. சோழ வம்சத்தார் irrigation முறைக்கு ரொம்பவே முக்கியத்துவம் கொடுத்தாங்க. The 16-mile long embankment built by Rajendra Chola in Gangaikonda Cholapuram is an illustrious example. Vati Vaikal, a criss-cross channel, is a traditional type of harnessing rainwater in the Kaveri Delta. Vati is a drainage channel and a Vaikal. Next one is religion. Chola rulers were ardent Savitis. Hymns in praise of the deeds of Lord Shiva were composed by the Saiva saints, the Nayanmas. Nambiyandar Nambi codified them, which came to be known as the Tirumurai. The last one is temples. The temples in Tanchar, Gangaikonda Cholapuram and Tarasuram are the repository of architecture. சோழ வம்சத்தோட ஆர்கிடெக்சருக்கு முக்கியமான உதாரணம் இப்போ நம்ம சொல்கிற தஞ்சாவூரில் இருக்கக்கூடிய பிரகதீஸ்வரா டெம்பிள் அண்ட் கங்கை கொண்ட சோழபுரம் தாராசுரம் டெம்பிள்ஸ். Next topic is Cholas as patrons of learning. Chola kings were great patrons of learning. Rajendra I established a Vedic college at Yennayiram, now in Viluppuram district. Yennayiram இப்போ அது விழுப்புரம் டிஸ்ட்ரிக்டில் இருக்குது. There were 340 students learning the Vedas, grammar and Upanishads under 14 teachers. Tirubhuvanai near present-day Puducherry and Tirumukkudal in present-day Chengalpattu district in 1048 and 1067 respectively. The great literary works Periya Puranam and Kambaramayanam belong to this period. Periya Puranamum Kambaramayanamum இந்த பீரியடில் தான் எழுதப்பட்டது. And next is trade. Trade was carried out by two guild groups. One is Anju, that is called Vannathar, and second one is Mani, that is called Gramathar. Anju Vannathar comprised West Asians, Arabs, Jews, Christians and Muslims. The items exported from here were sandalwood, ebony, condiments, precious gems, pepper, oil, paddy, grains and salt. இந்த பொருட்கள் எல்லாம் இங்கிருந்து எக்ஸ்போர்ட் பண்ணப்பட்டது. The next topic is the later Pandyas. Pandyas were one of the three ancient Tamil dynasties that ruled southern India since the 4th century BC. Under the Pandya kings of Sangam age, Madurai was the great center of culture. Arikesari Maravarman was the first strong Pandya ruler who ascended the throne in AD 642. பாண்டிய வம்சத்தில் மிகவும் வலிமை வாய்ந்த மன்னர் அரிகேசரி மாரவர்மன். Next one is inscriptions and copper plates prize his victory over his counterparts Cheras, Cholas, Pallavas and Sinhalese. Nedunjadayan expanded the Pandya territory to include Tanjavur, Tiruchirappalli, Salem and Coimbatore district. And the next topic is rise of later Pandyas. Their period was 1192 1310. In their period, Marco Polo, a famous traveler from Venice, visited Kayal twice in 1288 to 1293. Marco Polo hailed the Pandyan kingdom as the richest and the most splendid province in the world. Next is Sadayavarman Sundara Pandyan. His period is 1251 to 1268. He brought the entire Tamil Nadu. He held the Hoysalas in check, the Chera ruler, the chief of Malanadu. After Sundara Pandyan, Maravarman Kulashekaran ruled successfully for a period of 40 years. Sundara Pandyan fled to Delhi and took refuge under the protection of Alauddin Khalji. This picture is coin of Pandya kingdoms. Students, refer page number 136 in your textbook. Next topic is polity and society. Under this topic, we have some points. First one is state, royal officials, administrative divisions, village administration, irrigation, religion, temples, and last one is trade. Now let us continue. First one is state. Pandya kings preferred Madurai as their capital. பாண்டிய மன்னர்கள் மதுரையை தங்களுடைய தலைநகரமாக தேர்ந்தெடுத்தார்கள். Madurai has been popularly venerated as Koodal. The kings are traditionally revered as Koodal Nagar Kavalan. Second one is royal officials. A band of officials executed the royal orders. Prime ministers Uttara Mantri, Minister Manikya Vasahar, Maran Kari. Royal Secretariat was known as Elithu Mandabam. The most respected officials are Maran Ayyan Satan Kanapati, Enadi Satan, Tiran, Murthy Ayyan. The next one is the titles of military commanders. Pallivelan, Parandangan Pallivelan, Maran Adityan, Tennavan Tamilvel. Refer your textbook in page number 137. 7. Next topic is administrative divisions. Pandya Nadu, as in Chola state, it's divided into Valanadus. We are divided in many Nadus and Kurrams. Nadu and Kurram contained settlements via Mangalam, Nagaram, Ur and Kudi, where different social groups inhabited. Next one is village administration. An inscription from Manur, it is in Tirunelveli district, dated AD 800, provides an account of village administration. Irrigation. The Pandya rulers created a number of irrigation sources. Rivers Vaigai and Tamarabarani, channels leading to the irrigation tanks were built. In southern Tamil Nadu, like the Cholas, Pandyas introduced a new irrigation technology. Next one is religion. Pandyas extended patronage to Vedic practices, Velvikudi copper plates, as well as inscriptional sources mention the rituals like Ashwamedha Yaga, Hirayana Graba, and Vajapeya Yaga, conducted by every great Pandya king. The impartiality of rulers towards both Saivam and Vaishnavam is also made known in the invocatory portions of the inscriptions. Next one is temple. Medieval Pandyas and later Pandyas did not build any new temples but maintained the existing temples. பாண்டியாஸும் லேட்டர் பாண்டியாஸ் மன்னர்களும் புதுசாக அவங்களோட பீரியடில் எந்த ஒரு டெம்பிள்ஸுமே பில்ட் பண்ணலை. பட் பழைய டெம்பிள்ஸை ஆல்டர்னேட் பண்ணாங்க. Historic Meenakshi temple at Madurai and kept expanding its premises by adding gopuras and mandapams. Dear students, உங்கள் எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும் Meenakshi temple is one of the famous temple in Tamil Nadu. Next one is trade. Arab settlements on the west coast of southern India from 7th century. In 13th and 14th century, horse trade became brisk. இந்த காலத்தில் ஹார்ஸ் ட்ரேட், குதிரைகளை ஏற்றுமதி இறக்குமதி செய்கிறது ரொம்பவே ஆக்டிவான ஒரு பழக்கமாக இருந்துச்சு. ட்ரேடிங் இன் ஹார்சஸ் we are called குதிரை செட்டிஸ். ஹார்ஸஸை ட்ரேடிங் பண்ணுறது, வியாபாரம் பண்ணுறது, குதிரைகளை வியாபாரம் பண்ணுறத குதிரை செட்டிஸ்னு சொன்னாங்க. The average cost of each horse was 220 dinars of red gold. Average cost, ஒரு குதிரையோட விலை 220 dinars. The busiest port town under the Pandyas was Kayalpattinam. Now it is in Thoothukudi district on the east coast. Gold coins were in circulation as the trade was carried through the medium of gold. இவங்க பீரியடில் கோல்டு காயினும் அதிகமாகவே பழக்கத்தில் இருந்துச்சு. இட் வாஸ் வேரியஸ்லி கால்ட் அஸ், அந்த கோல்டு காயினை டிஃப்ரெண்ட் நேம் சொல்லி அவங்க எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணாங்க. கோல்டு காயின்ஸோட நேம்ஸ் காசு, கலஞ்சு அண்ட் பொன். ரெஃபர் your page number 138. Thank you, students.